So my little winter tip would definitely be PVA bags. They're such a versatile way of fishing. Not only that, but when you go anywhere, you can be quite quick with them. So you can get some rigs set up, you can get some pre-tied, you know, you can have them set up on lead core. And what this means is if you're moving in the winter trying to find the fish, then, you know, you're down, no, nothing, so you move, so you've got another one ready tied, just a quick loop system, bosh, you're straight back out there.
Oh God, he dropped it.
I couldn't stop smiling. Now for my PVA bag, in the winter I tend to use quite a small one, so these are small PVA bags. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how I tie this is my distance PVA bag. So I've got an inline distance lead there, it's 4 ounce, and I tend to have quite a long hook link. I'm about 4.5, 5 inches, and the reason being that I played around with hook links and tried them very short, and I'd seen people talking about them before, but I find really short hook links in PVA bags, I don't feel it gets far enough into the fish's mouth to get a really good hook hold. So now I use quite a long one for a PVA bag. What I've got here, I've got some PB wafters and pop-ups, so I've got a little range. Again, if you're trying to stay mobile, it's perfect for it. I'm going to use a PB wafter. It's one of my favourite hook baits, that's for sure. They balance out really well with the size 6, I find. And I'm going to simply thread that on. Now I've fished with these bags of up to 170, 180 yards while fishing the Worlds, and I find it flies dead straight, and it's a cracking way of doing it. It's not a normal inline lead that most people would use in bags, but it's one I've found to be very good. If I'm not fishing very far, I tend to use a square one, and what I'll do is I'll use a hard stem and then I'll use the lick and twist, but with this one I'm going to tie it. So in my bags I like to use the beta stim pellets. There's 3 or 4 different types of pellet in there, so they've got slightly different breakdown times, and all I'm going to do, I'm going to sprinkle a few in the bottom, and this is where the bag's slightly different. What I do with it is I take my bomb, I take my hook, and I place it in the top like that. Now that's very different to how most people do, because what a lot of people do is they'll put the hook bait in the bottom, push it down into the corner and then force the lead down, but I don't do that. What I do then, so I drop that into the bag like so, and what this means is that lead is right nose first at the front of the bag. I'm then going to surround this with pellet, which everyone's going, oh, his hook's still in there, his hook's still in there, his hook's still in there. But then I take my baiting needle and I just retrieve the hook out. So what I've done is I've just pulled the baiting needle, the hook out the top of the lead, and what I'm left with is the hook sitting perfectly above the lead, and a little bit more pellet, like that. Okay, and this is obviously a little bit different to what everyone would be seeing, but you can see the lead is at the bottom of the bag, and it's right at the front, and above it there's a little bit, and what I do, just give that a little tap down, giving it a twist at the same time, pierce a couple of holes in it to make sure the air comes out, and all the time just giving it a little tap and forcing it down. Now they take a little while to get used to tying a bag like this because it is very different. So once I've got that nice and dense, I take my little bit of PVA tape and I wrap it round. Just tie it off with overhands. Once, twice, 3 granny knots. Good old granny knot. So once I've tied my knots, I'm just going to trim them very simply. Now take hold of my lead core and pull it down, cut a slit in the bit that's hanging off, pull my lead core back through the slit, and then I can trim that off nice and tight. So there I've done the top, and then at the bottom give them a tap in the corners, give it a good pull, little lick, tuck in the sides, good pull, little lick, tuck in the sides, just shape it up a little bit, trying to keep it a little bit more weighted to the front, and that there is a perfect distance bag, and that bag will quite happily fly very straight. I know this because I've used it a lot. You can see the lead in the front, and what it does is as the lead goes in, it sinks down to the bottom, and then you've got your hook bait is towards the back.